Hey traders, Raghee here. This is the recap for Thursday, October 16, the Sector Secrets Mastery Day Trading. And for those of you that are wondering, Rag, what about the swing trading? I will send up a recap here, walking through the last 4 weeks from the last options expiration to tomorrow's options expiration, what we've done in the Mastery, so you can take a good look at that as well. Today, we had actually 2 day trades built into this one chart, which is here, the setup. And I'll show you another day trade that some of our members took in the room. So first of all, the NASDAQ, if you're looking at QQQ trading, I will encourage everyone to use the NASDAQ futures, because what this does is this opens up possibilities for simultaneous trades in the futures alongside the ETF options. What we did here today is we used our support level right there. This was a pre-market support level. I wouldn't have seen this in the same way if I was looking at the QQQ. May not have even been ready. So having the NASDAQ going 23 hours a day and having these support and resistance levels ready to go, even before the bell, is really powerful, because we set this trade up, as you can see, at 10:04. And by the time we got to the 10:10 candle, about 5-6 minutes later, there is the entry. So we always set these up with these predetermined zones, and we prepare them ahead of time so that if price gets into this range, everybody's on the same page in the mastery to take advantage of this zone. And that's where we bought the QQQ calls for about $3 to $2.75. So some entry around 3, some entry around 275. You can see how quickly it dipped down into that zone. We had 2 triggers here when the NASDAQ got to 25.30 and when the NASDAQ got to 25.20. If you're a futures trader, really simple, you're going to place a limit order to buy at each one of these levels on the NQ or the MNQ. Up to you if you want to do that. Otherwise, I wait for that price level to trigger, get over to the QQQ calls, and I buy. In this case, I bought the 604. I gave everyone the choice. If you have a larger budget, go with the slightly in the money call. Smaller budget for the trades, go with the at the money call. Never out, by the way. All right, first target in this trade, as you can see, we have the targets laid out even before we have our entry. So that way we're ready for the scale out. And you can see during the 10:15 candle, we reached 25,060 right in here. The red line that's there is the first target. Not only do we hit it once, we were above it the next candle, above it the next candle. So if you missed the first move to T1, you had plenty of time to scale out again. And this 10:15 candle gave us an opportunity to scale out at about $3.35. Now, am I excited about a $3.35 T1 after I bought this for $3 to $2.75? Not really, but this is the first time that I can start to take my capital out of harm's way. In other words, think of your T1 as right here, as getting paid to manage risk. If you bought the NASDAQ futures and price went from 25.20 or 25.30 to 25.60, that is $20 per point for the NQ, right? So not a bad move if you're taking a $40 move in the NAS. That's going to be an initial target of $800 per contract, which not too shabby, right? And if you were in from the 30, now you're taking a profit of 30 points at $20 a point for a $600 per contract gain. That's on the NQ. On the QQQ, I'm taking about, as you can see, about 60 cents off the table, or about 35 cents from those 2 entries. All right, that's a nice start. Notice here at 10:18, as we started to clear the first target, what did I do? I said, oh, okay, let's get a second target ready to go. In case 25,100 presents a little bit more resistance as it's done earlier in the morning, let's be prepared. Let's be proactive and pay ourselves while we can, not when we have to. And you can see here, we wicked this level, but by 10:18, we had plenty of opportunities to take profits out as price not only traded to, but easily through 5,095. So you'll notice here by 10:30, these options are trading at about $3.70. All right, so $3.70 in this area here. Some of our traders will use the hourly price movement range resistance, especially if they want to be done earlier in the morning. 11 o'clock is a great time to say, you know what, if I'm going to have to leave the desk, let's do so by this London fix, because it's an accounting phenomena that sometimes will be sort of volatile. So a lot of our traders like to be done right around 11. No problem. If we're hitting the hourly price movement range, this is the automated volatility zone that we use. We were hitting that, as you can see, during the 1040 candle. And that's when these options were trading for about $4.50 in this area right here. So not too bad, starting to trade off from down in here. Lowest price I paid was $2.75. And then on the way up, you can see what the opportunities were. All right, now what, right? This is the next question. If I'm going to call it a day, and I don't want to day trade all day, I absolutely do not. The best window for entry is going to be 9:30 to 10:30. I do not encourage any of my traders to continue to actively trade past 10:30, but if you want to actively manage, going into the London fix is a great time. And this allows a lot of traders to call it a day within about 2.5 hours of the morning and get on with whatever other style of trade they want, or just whatever else. We've got some West Coast traders that then go to work, right? So there's a lot of appeal to this first hour or 90 minutes of the morning. Now, the other trade that I'll share with you all, and a big shout out to our member Jeremy. This is what's so great about the community, right? They're looking at trades and pointing out opportunities as well. And one of the trades that Jeremy liked earlier this morning was an opportunity. And again, think about the window. We're not looking at trading all day. And the window of opportunity that he took advantage of was off, and a number of our members did too, was off the support, remember support and resistance, the support of the hourly price movement range, the HPMR, which is a historic volatility-based support and resistance tool. And took that buy on AVGO, and you can see what a nice move that made. And just in the last two recaps that I've shared with you all, I've shared with you how to trade off the Darvis automated support and resistance, and also out of the hourly price movement range support and resistance. Gang, this is support and resistance trading. We've now hit two 60% plus winners. Eventually, I'll show you a loser. I'll show you how we manage risk. But for right now, the day trading is working really well if you've got the patience to wait for price to enter your zone and then be really prudent about the first target and get really greedy about the second. So another great morning of day trades, calling it a day in terms of entries by 10:30, 10:35, and then for a lot of our traders by 11, they're off to work or whatever else they've got to do with the day. And that just reminds me that, if you want to join our group, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that you can join us for a month for $7. And what you'll get a whole lot more than my swing trades and my day trades and my long-term account growth trades. On day one, you can download the TOPS layout for day trading and swing trading, because we want everyone to have a layout that they can work with as soon as they join our group, and you can use that layout. We have a quick start series that allows you in about, I think it's 7 or 8 videos that run about 5-6 minutes each. So in less than an hour, you can get up to speed on position sizing, how to read the alerts, how to day trade with me, how to swing trade with me. You also get the top tier Outlook newsletter, the previous session close indicator, the hourly price movement range indicator for indices. This is all on day one. You can download this and start to take advantage of it, and a whole lot more in our files resource drive. So we're definitely going to give you an immersion into what I do for those 30 days. I'd love for y'all to check it out. The day trading has been spectacular. I'll share with you all the swing trading of the last month tomorrow or into the weekend. So I'll have a full recap on that as well. All right, gang, happy trading. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, any comments, leave them below. I read and answer them all myself. And thanks for smashing that like button, and I'll see you.